Hello everyone and welcome to the LDR session. So inniki number SOGA, Sale of Goods Act today, unit number 3 or the questions we are going to discuss. All the case study based question that has been asked in the exam previously is what we are going to discuss. The first question is, M&O Limited, a supplier of electronic components, entered into a contract on 1st August 2023 with PQR Enterprises for sale of 1000 units of microchip. The contract specifically identified the microchips by their serial numbers and confirmed that they were in a deliverable state, specific goods in deliverable states, right, and stored it in M&O Limited's warehouse. The contract stipulated that the goods would be delivered on September 10, 2023. On August 10, 2023, a flood occurred, damaged the warehouse and destroyed the entire microchips, including the 1000 units that was intended to be given to PQR Enterprises. Examine with reference to the provisions of Sale of Goods Act 1930, who shall suffer the loss? What will be your answer if microchips are not specifically identified and marked for PQR Enterprises at the time of contract? So this question is basically ascertain, unascertained goods. When will the ownership pass? When will the property pass? Because we know, yarkita ownership irko, yarkita property irko, he only has to bear the risk. Risk prima facie moves with the ownership. Who has the ownership of the goods will have to bear the risk of a goods. So in this particular case study, there are two scenarios. First, let's answer the first scenario. First scenario, they are telling the goods are specific goods and they were put in deliverable state. If they are specific goods put in deliverable state, then the ownership has passed. If the ownership has passed, who should bear the loss? PQR Enterprises will bear the loss. PQR Enterprises will bear the loss. But in case, they asked you one alternative question. In case it was not specifically identified, it was not kept aside for PQR Limited, then the seller, M&O Limited, should only suffer the loss, because whoever has the property should suffer the loss, right? Specific deliverable state, then ownership will pass. If it is not in deliverable state, not yet ascertained, then ownership will not pass. Is that absolutely clear? Yes. Moving on to question number 2. It says, S purchased a dress from a reputed showroom and made payment in cash. Purchased a dress, made payment in cash. The dress she purchased required some alteration. The shopkeeper assured S that it would take just 1 day. He assured S that it would take just 1 day. It would take just 1 day to complete the alteration work. To complete all the alteration work, it was agreed that once the dress was altered, the shopkeeper would inform S through a phone and she would collect the dress. So here it's a specific goods, but not in deliverable state. Because some alteration has to be done. It's a specific goods but not in a deliverable state. The shopkeeper told that I will alter it, then I'll give you a call, you come and collect it, right? The shopkeeper, however, forgot. He made the alteration, he forgot to inform S when the dress was ready. In the meantime, a short circuit happened in the shop and the packets which were ready for delivery were destroyed due to fire that happened because of the short circuit. After waiting for 10 days, when S went to collect her dress, she was informed that she came late and her dress was burnt in a fire accident. S then asked her for a refund of her money, what she paid. The shopkeeper refused by saying that the dress was kept ready for her the very next day, but she did not come to collect it. So it is her fault. Are they right? The answer is no, they are not right. Because in case it's a specific goods and not in a deliverable state, you have to bring it to the deliverable state, intimate it to the buyer that it is ready, it is put in the deliverable state. After that only the ownership will pass. Therefore, the shopkeeper is liable to give the whole refund, because here who should bear the risk? Who has the ownership? When will ownership pass in specific goods which are not in deliverable state? It will pass when it is brought to deliverable state and you inform that to the buyer. Here the shopkeeper, he did the alteration. He bought the specific goods in deliverable state, but he did not inform the buyer, that is Miss S. So in this particular case, ownership is not passed to the buyer. If ownership is not passed, our risk bear pannungra avasiyame kadayadu. So your shopkeeper only has to bear the risk and he has to give the refund. Is that clear? Next is question number 60. Mr. Samuel agrees to purchase 100 bales of cotton from Varun out of his large stock. Varun kita 100 bales of cotton irukku. Adla Varun agrees to purchase. Samuel has lot of bales of cotton, maybe thousands of bales of cotton. In that, Samuel agrees to purchase 100 bales. Samuel agrees to purchase 100 bales. Samuel sends his men to take the delivery. They could only pack 60 bales by then, and meantime, by the time they could come to take the delivery, a fire accident happened and the entire stock was destroyed. This stock included the 60 bales that was packed for Samuel. You tell me, for that 60 bales, who will bear the loss? Obviously, the loss will be borne by Samuel because it was a specific goods in deliverable state. Ownership passes to the buyer, so Samuel will have to bear the loss. Is that clear? Next is A agrees to sell a specific car to B. Both agree that the ownership will pass only after the full payment of price. Here they have explicitly agreed. Avangale through contract you come to know. In specific goods, remember section number 19.2. In specific goods, how you will know ownership is passed? Look at the terms of the contract. Look at the conduct of the party. Look at the circumstance of the case. In this, the terms of the contract is very clear. The terms of the contract is very clear that ownership will pass only when you make the full payment. But before the full payment, the car is destroyed. Who should bear the loss? Loss will be borne by the person who has the ownership. Who has the ownership? Ma'am, seller. Why not buyer? Why not buyer? Because buyer and seller agreed for a contract where it was very clear only when last payment is made, ownership will pass to the buyer. So last payment is not made. Before the full payment could be made, the car is destroyed. The ownership was with the seller. Therefore, the loss will also be borne by the seller. Next is A agrees to sell a specific machine to B. The contract does not expressly mention when ownership will pass. If contract does not expressly mention, what are the other ways to find out? First, though, you look at the terms of the contract, but terms of the contract is not clear. Look at the conduct of the parties or look at the circumstance of the case. Adalain Terilana, go to section 22-24. It will help you find out. Is that clear? Is that clear? Next is question number 6. Referring to the provisions of Sale of Goods Act, state the circumstances under which when delivery of the goods are made to the buyer on approval or return basis, the property, when will the property pass? When goods are sent on sale or return basis, when will the property pass? Let's see. Miss Preeti owned a motor car which she handed over to Mr. Joshi on sale or return basis. We gave it to Joshi and we told you use it. If you don't like it, you return it. After a week, Mr. Joshi pledged it. Mr. Joshi pledged the motor car to Mr. Ganesh. Miss Preeti now claims back the motor car from Mr. Ganesh. Will she succeed? Will she succeed? The answer is no. She will not be able to succeed because here by pledging it, the ownership has passed. By pledging it, the ownership has passed. She can recover the amount. But now the ownership has passed because here she sent the goods on sale or return basis, right? And what did the Joshi guy do? What did Joshi guy do? He pledged it. So he's doing something which shows that he's adopted the transaction. He's accepted the sale. Is that clear? Is that clear? So therefore, the property in the motor car passes to Mr. Joshi. Now in this situation, Miss Preeti will not be able to recover the car from Mr. Ganesh, but she can ask for the price from Mr. Joshi. Is that clear? Is that clear? Next is question number 7. A delivered a horse to B on sale or return basis. The agreement provided that B should try the horse for 8 days and then return it if he did not like it. On the 3rd day, the horse died without any fault of B. Very important, very important. The horse died without any fault of B. A suit was filed against B for recovery of price. Can he recover the price? Now tell me, this particular goods was sent on sale or approval basis? Sale or return basis, sale or return basis. In sale or return basis, when will ownership pass? When he explicitly tells that I accept the contract, when he calls and tells that I accept the contract. Second is when he has it beyond the reasonable period of time, right? And third is when he adopts a transaction which shows that he has accepted the sale. In this case, avanku evlo naal trial ku namakku kuduthom? Evlo naal namakku trial ku kuduthom? 8 days. 8 daysல நடுவுல அவன் எப்பயாவது கால் பண்ணி சொன்னானா நான் அக்செப்ட் பண்றேன்னு இல்ல. 3 நாள் தான் வச்சிருந்தா அப்போ எது சொல்லல. Did he do something that showed that he would have adopted the transaction? No. Now the goods got destroyed. Okay, the goods got destroyed. The buyer to whom I gave the goods on sale or return basis did not do any of this above 3. That means ownership has not passed as per section number 24. Ownership pass ஆகலனா இன்னும் ownership யார் கிட்ட தான் இருக்கு? Seller கிட்ட தான் இருக்கு. Ownership யார் கிட்ட இருக்கோ அவன் தான் என்ன பண்ணும்? Loss bear பண்ணும். So here A only should bear the loss. Next is J. J, a wholesaler of premium basmati, delivered on approval 100 bags of rice of 10 kg each to a local retailer on sale or returnable basis within a month of delivery. The next day, the retailer sold 5 bags of rice to a regular customer, and the name of that customer was K. A week later, K informed the retailer that the quality of the rice was not as per the price. அவன் கொடுத்த price படி quality இல்ல. The retailer now wants to return all the rice bags to J. Now, J கிட்டேந்து யார் வாங்கினா? retailer. எவ்வளோ வாங்கினா? 100 பேக் வாங்கினா. அதுல 5 பேக் யாருக்கு கொடுத்துட்டான்? கேக்கு. கே வந்து ரீட்டைலர் கிட்ட என்ன சொல்றான்? அந்த பேக்கோட குவாலிட்டி அவ்வளோ நல்லா இல்லை. இப்போ ரீட்டைலர் என்ன சொல்றான்? நான் அந்த 100 பேக்ல 5 நான் கொடுத்துட்டேன். அதுல 1 அவன் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டான். அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் அவனுக்கு என்ன தெரிஞ்ச குவாலிட்டி சரியில்லை. அவன் மீதினால எனக்கு ரிட்டர்ன் பண்ணிட்டான். ஸோ 95 + 4 99 நான் உனக்கு திரும்பி கொடுத்துடுறேன் அப்படின்னு இவன் சொல்றான். will I accept it or will I not accept it? ஏன்னா இதை வந்து நான் சேல் ஆர் ரிட்டர்ன் பேசிஸ்ல தானே அமிச்சேன். அவன் ரிட்டர்ன் பண்ணிடுறேன்னு சொல்றான். will I accept it or will I not accept it? See, out of 100, the 5 bags that you sold, that means you have done something which adopts the transaction. நீ எப்படி வேற ஒருத்தனுக்கு விற்க முடியும்? அது ஓ பொருளா இருந்ததா? அது ஓ பொருளா எப்போ இருக்கும்? நான் சேல் ஆர் ரிட்டர்ன் பேசிஸ்ல அமிச்சதை நீ அடாப்ட் பண்ணிட்ட அப்படின்னா அது ஓ பொருள் ஆயிடும். அதை நீ என்ன பண்ணா மற்றவங்களுக்கு விற்கலாம். நீ அதை அடாப்ட் பண்ணிட்ட, சேல் நடந்துருச்சு, ஓனர்ஷிப் பாஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஸோ அதனால அந்த 5 பேகுக்கு நீ ரிட்டர்ன் கொடுக்க முடியாது. வாட் அபவுட் த 95? அதை நீ ரிட்டர்ன் கொடுத்துக்கலாம். இதுல இந்த 5 பேக் இருக்குல்ல, இதை நீ யாருக்கு கொடுத்த? கேக்கு. நீ 5 பேக வேற யாருக்கும் விற்கிற அப்படின்னா எந்த பொருளை விற்க முடியும்? அது ஒன்றா இருந்தால் தான் உன்னால விற்க முடியும். அப்ப நான் உனக்கு எதுல கொடுத்தேன்? சேல் ஆர் ரிட்டர்ன் பேசிஸ்ல. யூ ஹவ் டன் an event which shows that you adopt the transaction of sale for that 5 bags. ஸோ அதில் ஓனர்ஷிப் என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு? பாஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஸோ அதை எதுவுமே பண்ண முடியாது. மீதி 95 வேணும்னா என்ன பண்ணிக்கலாம்? ரிட்டர்ன் பண்ணிக்கலாம். மீதி 95 வேணும்னா ரிட்டர்ன் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அந்த 5 bags பண்ண முடியாது. Okay, with reference to the provisions of the Sale of Goods Act, answer the following. What do you mean by reservation of right of disposal, and state the circumstances under which the right of disposal may be reserved. இது ஒண்ணுமே இல்லப்பா. ரிசர்வேஷன் ஆஃப் ரைட் ஆஃப் டிஸ்போசல் அப்படின்னா நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, நீ எனக்கு காசு கொடுத்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் நான் குட்ஸ் கொடுப்பேன். இட்ஸ் நத்திங் பட் கண்டிஷனல் அப்ராப்ரியேஷன். தான் என்ன சொல்லுவோம்? ரைட் ஆஃப் ரிசர்வேஷன் ஆஃப் டிஸ்போசல் அப்படின்னா ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, காசை கூட குட்ஸ் எடுத்துக்கோ. I am not giving it to you for free. The moment I have the right to reserve the disposal. I will dispose it. I will give it to you only when you make the payment. Right? இது என்ன மாதிரி கேஸ்லாம் பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னா, லெட்ஸ் சே நான் இந்த கூட்ஸ் உனக்கு அனுப்புறேன். நீ என்ன சொன்னீங்கன்னா, மேம் என்னால இமீடியட்டா பே பண்ண முடியாது, வேணா ஒரு பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை நான் சைன் பண்ணி கொடுக்குறேன், ஃபியூச்சர்ல பே பண்ணணும், ஒரு பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை நான் சைன் பண்ணி கொடுக்குறேன். நான் ஒரு பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை டிராஃப்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். நான் தான் டிராவர். நான் ஒரு பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை டிராஃப்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். இப்போ நெகோஷியபிள் இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட் ஆக்ட்ல நீ படிச்சிருக்கேன். இந்த மாதிரி பில்ஸ் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச்லாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இட் ஷுட் பி அக்செப்டட். நீ presentment for acceptance நம்ம ஏற்கனவே படிச்சிருக்கோம். நீ என்ன பண்ணும்? அக்னாலேஜ் பண்ணும் தட் எஸ் நான் பே பண்றேன். டிராயி அதை என்ன பண்ணும்? அக்னாலேஜ் பண்ணும். நான் பில்ஸ் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை எழுதுறேன் அப்படின்னா நான் டிராவர். டிராயி என்ன பண்ணும்? அதை அக்னாலேஜ் பண்ணும். இப்போ நான் என்னோட டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்டர் கிட்ட இந்த கூட்ஸையும் கொடுக்குறேன், அந்த பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சையும் கொடுக்குறேன். நான் டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்டர் கிட்ட என்ன சொன்னேன்னா, அவன் பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை சைன் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் நீ கூட்ஸை கொடு. அவன் பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை சைன் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் நீ என்ன பண்ணு? கூட்ஸ் கொடு. I've reserved the right of disposal because I told I'll dispose the goods to you only when you sign the bill of exchange. So this is called reserving the right of disposal, where I'm telling it's not a unconditional appropriation, it's a conditional appropriation. I will give you the goods. I will dispose of the goods only on the fulfillment of certain condition. நான் உனக்கு சொன்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள், நீ பில் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சை சைன் பண்ணாதான் உனக்கு நாங்க என்ன கொடுப்போம்? கூட்ஸ் கொடுப்போம். Are you able to understand this? Is it absolutely clear? Are you able to understand this? Right? இப்போ ரெண்டு சிச்சுவேஷன் எதுல நம்ம வந்து இந்த ரைட் ஆஃப் டிஸ்போசலை ரிசர்வ் பண்ணிக்கலாம் அப்படின்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து நீ ரயில்வே வழியா அனுப்புற. ரயில்வே வழியா அனுப்புறேன் அப்படின்னா லெட்ஸே இங்கேருந்து நான் கூட்ஸ் அனுப்புறேன், சென்னையிலேருந்து மும்பை வரைக்கும் லெட்ஸே சென்னை எக்ஸ்பிரஸ்ங்கிற ட்ரெயினில் போட்டு அனுப்புறேன். மும்பையில் அந்த பையர் அதை கலெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும். ஆனால் அதுக்கு அவங்ககிட்ட ரயில்வே ரெசிப்ட் இருக்கணும். ரயில்வே ரெசிப்ட்னு ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட் இருந்தாலும் நீ போய் அதை ரயில்வே டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் கிட்ட காட்டின அப்படின்னா அவங்க கூட்ஸ் உனக்கு எடுத்து கொடுப்பாங்க. நான் என்ன சொன்னேன்னா, இந்த ரயில்வே ரெசிப்டை நான் உனக்கு எப்போ கொடுப்பேன் அப்படின்னா நீ பேமெண்ட் பண்ணாதான் கொடுப்பேன். So this is called reserving the right of disposal. It's conditional. I told I will give you, but only when you make the payment or only when you sign the negotiable instrument. Right? That is one example. When you're sending through railway, you can reserve the right of disposal. You can tell I'll give you the railway receipt only when you make the payment. Or second is the example that I told you. நான் bill of exchange அனுப்புறேன், railway receipt அனுப்புறேன். நான் என்னோட ஏஜென்ட் கிட்ட சொன்னேன், அவனுக்கு நீ railway receipt எப்போ கொடுக்கணும்னா அவன் bill of exchange சைன் பண்ணாதான். ஏன்னா ரயில்வே ரெசிப்ட் இருந்தாதான் நீ போய் அதை என்ன பண்ண முடியும், ரயில்வே ஸ்டேஷன்ல இருந்து கூட்ஸ் எடுக்க முடியும். கூட்ஸ் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு உனக்கு ரயில்வே ரெசிப்ட் தேவை. ரயில்வே ரெசிப்ட் வேணும்னா நீ பில்ஸ் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் சைன் பண்ணணும். ஐ எம் ரிசர்விங் த ரைட் ஆஃப் டிஸ்போசல். இன் these two situations I can do that. Is that clear? Is that clear? Next is 10th one. A purchases a motorcycle from B and uses it for some time. It turns out that the motorcycle was sold by B to A, B to C ன்னு இருக்கணும் நினைக்கிறேன். No. A purchases a motorcycle from B and uses it for some time. It turns out that motorcycle sold by B to A was stolen one and had to be returned to the rightful owner. A purchased. A வாங்கியிருக்கான். யார்கிட்ட இருந்து வாங்கியிருக்கான்? B கிட்ட. So B is the seller. A is the buyer. கொஞ்ச நாள் யூஸ் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் பையருக்கு என்ன தெரிய வருது, இது B ஓட கூட்ஸே கிடையாது, அவன் வேற யார்கிட்ட இருந்து என்ன பண்ணிருக்கான், திருடி இருக்கான். Nemo dat quad non-habited. Nobody can pass a better title than what he himself has. இது திருடி இருக்கான்னு உனக்கு தெரிய வருது, நீ என்ன பண்ணணும்? What are you supposed to do? No option. You are supposed to return it to the true owner. But ma'am, நான் கொடுத்த காசு நான் காசு கொடுத்து வாங்கினேனே. No problem, you can recover it from B. You can recover that from a B. Right? In fact, it's a breach of implied condition as to title. Section 14A. Breach of implied condition as to title. You can reject the goods, repudiate, resign the contract and claim for a full refund. You have that right, you can do. Ana true owner வந்துட்டான் அப்படினா goods அவனுக்கு கொடுத்துதான் ஆகணும். Because as per the principle of nemo dat quod non habet, nobody can pass a better title than what he himself has. So B கிட்ட திருடின டைட்டில் இருந்தது, ஸ்டோலன் குட்ஸ், அவன் கிட்ட டிஃபெக்டிவ் டைட்டில் இருந்ததுன்னா உனக்கும் என்ன டைட்டில் தான் வரும், டிஃபெக்டிவ் டைட்டில் தான் வரும். அதோட எக்ஸெப்ஷன் இஸ் மர்கன்டைல் ஏஜென்ட், பட் திஸ் இஸ் நாட் a case of mercantile agent. Are you able to understand? Next is 11th one. Mr. Shekhar wants to sell his car. For this purpose, he appoints Nadan, a minor, as his agent. Can minor be appointed as agent? Yes. Unit number 3 Indian Contract Act. Can minor be appointed as agent? Yes. As per section 11, yes. But whatever minor does as an agent, principal will only be ultimately responsible. Mr. Shekhar wants to sell a car. He appoints Mr. Nadan, who's a minor, as his agent. Shekhar instructs Nadan that the car should not be sold at less than 1 lakh rupees. He tells Nadan, don't sell the car for less than 1 lakh. Nadan ignores the instruction of Mr. Shekhar and sells the car to Masoom for 80,000. He sells it for 80,000. Explain the possession. This is the case of mercantile agent. If a mercantile agent is selling the goods, okay, and I purchased it in good faith, I did not know that mercantile agent did not have the authority to sell it below 1 lakh. I did not know. He offered 80,000, I accepted it, I purchased it. I will get a good title. If the buyer has purchased the goods from the mercantile agent in good faith, the buyer did not know that the mercantile agent did not have the authority to sell, he purchased it in good faith, he will get a good title. Can Shekhar recover the loss of 20,000 from a minor? Can minor be held liable? The answer is no. Can he get it from minor? No, Shekhar cannot recover it from minor. Can he recover that from Masoom? No, because Masoom purchased it in good faith and he did not know that the minor, that is the agent, mercantile agent, did not have the authority. Is that clear? Next is 12. A, B, C were joint owners of a truck. The possession of the said truck was with B. Abdina joint owners, but possession is with a sole member. X purchased the truck from B without knowing that A and C were also the owners. X did not know that A and C were also the owners. He purchased it from B in good faith, believing B has the authority to sell. Does he get a good title? Yes. Section 28. Next is, if you know provisions, these are all very, very simple. Almost the same things we have done in class. Right? Moving on to the next one. A went to B's shop and selected some jewelry. A falsely represented himself as a man of credit and thereby persuaded to take payment by check. That means there's a case of fraud, misrepresentation. He further requested him to hand over the particular type of ring immediately. On due date, when the seller B presented the check for payment, the check was found to be dishonored. Before B could avoid the contract on the ground of fraud by A, he had sold the ring to C. The contract is voidable. The contract is voidable between the seller and the buyer, but buyer sold it to someone else. And C had taken the ring in good faith without having the notice that the goods with A were under a voidable contract. Discuss, will C get a good title? The answer is yes. Will C get a good title? The answer is yes. So C will get a good title. The sale is valid. Yes, A and B can file a case on each other. That they can fight. Voidable contract, they can fight. Okay, there can be breach, remedy, that and all they can do. But for C, did he get a good title? Yes. 14. Saurabh purchased an electric scooter of Vivek for rupees 5,000 only on a gunpoint. Again, gunpoint, voidable. Vivek decided to file a complaint to avoid the contract on the basis of coercion applied against him by Saurabh. But before he could do that, Saurabh sold the scooter to Vinay, who had no idea about the situation, and purchased it from Saurabh. Vivek sued Saurabh and Vinay for recovery. Vivek can sue Saurabh. Vivek cannot sue Vinay because Vinay purchased it in good faith. Vinay did not have knowledge about this activity. Vinay did not have knowledge that the contract before was voidable. So he gets a good title. Okay, but Vivek can sue Saurabh and he can, as per voidable contract, he can take remedy for that. Sohan is a trader in selling wheat. Binod comes to his shop and asks to show him some good quality wheat. Binod is satisfied with the quality of wheat. Sohan agrees to sell 100 bags of wheat to Binod on 10th of June 2021. The delivery of wheat and the payment was to be made in the next 3 months. Before the goods were delivered to Binod, Sohan gets another customer, Vikram, in his shop who is ready to pay a higher price. Remember that Maggie example I told you? Now Maggie வாங்கிட்டேன். நான் வந்து சும்மா என்னோட ஷாப்பிங் பேக் இங்க வச்சுட்டு போறேன்னு சொன்னேன். அப்புறம் வந்து எடுத்துக்கிறேன், வேற இடத்துக்கு ஷாப்பிங் போடு, இங்க வச்சுட்டு போறேன். மேகி பாக்கெட் அதுக்குள்ள இருக்கு, நான் ஏற்கனவே வாங்கிட்டேன். இன்னொருத்த வந்து மேகி பாக்கெட் கேட்கறான். செல்லர் இஸ் லுக்கிங் அட் த ரேக், மேகி இல்ல. ஐயோ என்ன பண்றது, குடவுன்ல இருந்து எடுத்துட்டு வர டைம் ஆகும். சரி தீபிகா தான் கொஞ்சம் நேரத்துக்கு கழிச்சு வரேனால அவன் மேகி பாக்கெட் எடுத்து என்ன பண்ணிடலாம், கொடுத்துடலாம். ஏற்கனவே இந்த மேகி எனக்கு வித்துட்டாங்க. But still, just because the seller has the possession, he is giving it to somebody else. Does that somebody else get a good title? Yes. Did that somebody else get a good title? Yes. Mr. Varun, a laptop distributor, delivered 20 laptops to his friend Mr. Rohit on the condition of sale or return basis within 10 days. Rohit neither returned the laptop within the stipulated time nor informed Varun about rejection. That means indirectly has adopted the sale. Instead, he kept the laptops in his office showroom and sold 5 of them. That also shows that he has accepted the sale. To Mr. Anuj, claiming to be the absolute owner, Anuj purchased the laptops in good faith and paid a full consideration and even issued a receipt. After 15 days, Varun demanded the return of all the laptops, including those which is sold to Anuj. Is Anuj required to return? No, because he purchased in good faith. Right? He did not have knowledge that this guy does not have the authority to sell. He gets a good title. Right? Decide under the sale of goods act whether Anuj has acquired a valid title. Yes. Whether Varun can recover the goods. The answer is he cannot recover that 5 goods. But he can claim the remaining. He can tell either you give the amount or you give back the goods. X, a furniture dealer, delivered furniture to Y under an agreement of sale, whereby Y had to pay the price of the furniture in 3 installments. As the terms of the agreement, the furniture will become the property of Y on the payment of last installment. It's clearly agreed. When you pay the last installment, then only you will get the ownership. Property means what? Ownership. Before Y had paid the last installment, he sold further to Z. He did not pay the last installment, he sold it to Z. He does not have the ownership. He sold it to somebody. Can anybody who does not have the title pass a better title? Pass a better title? Yes, provided the other person purchased it in good faith. Provided the other person purchased it in good faith and he did not know about this, then the other person will get a good title. Right? Here, will he get a good title? Yes. Ma'am, then what will X do? He can sue for damages. He can sue Y for damages. But will Z get a good title? Yes. Against B's tender, R agrees to sell and deliver 1000 kgs of tomatoes at rupees 100 per kg, which shall be delivered on 15th July 2023. Due to the rise of prices of tomato in the market, R delivered only 700 kgs of tomatoes on 15th July and agrees to deliver the balance quantity in the next month. B accepted the 700 kg of tomatoes sent by R. Later, R failed to deliver the balance quantity. B refused to pay the price of 700 kgs of tomatoes to R as he failed to fulfill the conditions stipulated as per contract. Now see, 1000 kgs தான் அவன் கொடுக்குறேன்னு சொன்னான். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எவ்வளோ அமிச்சிட்டான்? 700 அமிச்சிட்டான். மீதி 300 அனுப்ப முடியாதுன்னு சொல்றான். இப்போ பையர் என்ன சொல்றானா, சரி நீ 300 அனுப்பலல, அதனால நான் 700க்கு காசு கொடுக்க மாட்டேன். No. If it has come, half delivery has come, buyer, you should have either rejected the goods, saying that I asked for 1000, why did you send for 700? Because we have studied in a section which clearly says you are not bound to accept delivery in installment. So nee installment கேக்கல, ஆனாலும் இவன் வந்து பாதி தான் அமிச்சிருக்கா. You could have rejected it, but நீ accept பண்ணு. But நீ என்ன பண்ண? Accept பண்ணு. இப்போ உன்னால வந்து என்ன சொல்ல முடியாது, அந்த 300க்கு பே பண்ணாத, ஓகே, பட் இந்த 700க்கு பே பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும். Because you have accepted that, you have to pay for that 700 kgs. G sold some goods to H for a certain price by issue of an invoice, but payment in respect of the same was not received on that day. The goods were packed and lying in the godown of Mr. G. The goods were inspected by H's agent and were found to be in order later on. The dues of the goods were settled in cash. Just after receiving cash, Mr. G asked H that goods should be taken away from his godown to enable him to store the other goods. Sale நடந்துச்சு, காசு கொடுத்தாச்சு, நான் சொல்ற கூட்ஸை எடுத்துட்டு போயிடுங்க, ஏன்னா வேற ஒரு லாட் வருது, இதை கிளியர் பண்ணாதான் என்னால இந்த இடத்துல வேற ஒரு லாட்டை வைக்க முடியும். மிஸ்டர் ஜி kept the goods out of the godown in the open space. நான் உங்களுக்கு வித்துட்டேன், நான் என்ன சொன்னா வெளில எடுத்துடுறேன் கூட்ஸை, நீங்க எடுத்துட்டு போய்க்கோங்க, ஏன்னா எனக்கு அடுத்த லாட் வருது, I have to keep that. ஓகே, நான் ஏற்கனவே வித்துட்டேன், இனிமேல் நீ இதை எடுத்துட்டு போயிடுன்னு நான் சொல்றேன். நான் அதனால அதை வெளில வச்சுட்டேன். ஆனா வெளில வச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் கொஞ்ச நேரம் கழிச்சு மழையாயி அது என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு? டெஸ்ட்ராய் ஆயிடுச்சு. Now you tell me who has to bear the loss? Now the loss has happened because of whom? The negligence of the buyer. Buyer தானே லேட் பண்ணா, பையர் டிலே பண்ணா டெலிவரி எடுக்கிறதுக்கு, பையர் நெக்லிஜென்ட்டா இருந்தா அவனால லாஸ் ஆயிருக்கு. Buyer should only bear the loss. The buyer is liable for any loss which is caused because of his neglect or refusal and for reasonable charge or care taken by the seller. In the particular given case, the buyer only has to bear the loss. ஏன்னா அவனோட நெக்லிஜென்ஸால தான் என்னாச்சு, டிலே ஆச்சு. டிலே ஆகி அதை வெளில வச்சதுனால தான் ரெயின்ல அது டிஸ்ட்ராய் ஆயிடுச்சு. So who has to bear it? It has to be borne by the buyer. Right? So with this, all the questions of unit number 3, all the case study based question of unit number 3 are over. I hope you are absolutely clear with it.